All right, let's dive into a really fascinating what-if scenario. It all starts with a simple childhood memory, but spirals out into this wild theory about Cold War secrets, psychological operations, and a nuclear power plant that might be hiding something, well, something much, much bigger. So, just think about this for a second. That fun field trip you took back in school, the one that was supposed to teach you about science and how energy works? What if its real purpose was to make you and your parents totally comfortable with something massive and secretive sitting right in your own backyard? So, our story really kicks off at the McGuire Nuclear Station in Huntersville, North Carolina. And like a lot of nuclear plants, it's got this public-facing education center, a place designed to be super welcoming and open. It's called the Energy Explorium. For decades, the Energy Explorium has been the go-to spot for school field trips. Kids come in, they play with all the cool interactive exhibits, they walk a nature trail, and they learn all about energy. The official mission? Well, it's to demystify nuclear power and get kids excited about science. It all sounds pretty straightforward, right? Okay, but this is where the theory takes a pretty sharp turn. What if this friendly public face has a much deeper, more calculated psychological purpose? So here's the deal. On one side, you've got the official story. It's all about fun STEM education and building up public trust. But if you look at it through a psychological operations lens, the goal could be way more subtle. And this really gives us our first big takeaway. Public relations can absolutely be a form of psyops. It's basically a campaign to counter public fear, sending kids home with this simple message: hey, the nuclear plant is cool and totally safe. It's a classic strategy to shape how people see things, starting from a really young age. And it's not just about the PR angle. The theory also starts to question the plant's location itself. I mean, is it just conveniently placed, or was it a deliberately strategic choice for camouflage? Think about it. McGuire sits on 800 acres right there on Lake Norman. It's surrounded by pine forests and these quiet suburban neighborhoods. From the air, it just kind of blends into this whole patchwork of energy infrastructure in an area you could easily mistake for horse country. It definitely doesn't scream top secret base, which, would be the entire point. And then you look at what's nearby. It's not right next door, but it is sitting right inside North Carolina's huge defense corridor. You've got Fort Liberty, home of the Joint Special Operations Command, just about 2 hours down the road. And a massive research hub like Duke University is about the same distance away. It's close enough to be connected, but just far enough to keep a low profile. The timing here is also super important. Construction on McGuire started in 1971, and its reactors came online in the early 80s. This puts it smack in the middle of the Cold War, an era that was all about Soviet threats, building up strategic assets here at home, and, of course, secret government projects being built right under everybody's nose. Okay, I know what you're thinking. A secret base under a nuke plant? It sounds like something out of a movie. But to really get why this theory is so compelling, we've got to look away from McGuire for a minute and focus on the verifiable history of secret underground stuff that actually exists in North Carolina. The state is literally dotted with these relics from the Cold War. You've got old Nike missile silos, FEMA bunkers designed for the government to ride out a disaster, hidden radar sites, secret communications hubs, you name it. So the precedent for this kind of hidden infrastructure, it's absolutely there. But out of all those secrets, there's one that really stands out. It's a place that the locals just call the Big Hole. And get this isn't some urban legend. It's real. Over in Chatham County, there's a massive 13-story deep underground bunker built by AT&T for the government back in the 60s. It's completely shrouded in secrecy and is even said to have inspired the Hawkins Lab in Stranger Things. If you wanted a real-world blueprint for a secret base hidden in rural Carolina, this is it. Okay, so let's fast forward back to today and take a look at who's actually living around the plant. The theory suggests that the perfect modern cover isn't just the landscape anymore, it's the people themselves. First, just wrap your head around the scale of this. North Carolina sees about $25 billion in military spending every single year. That kind of money creates an entire ecosystem of defense contractors, tech firms, and a whole lot of highly skilled people. So who exactly is moving into all those quiet suburbs in Huntersville? Well, you find this really high concentration of people with specialized skills and top-level security clearances. We're talking data and cybersecurity pros, defense contractors, retired special ops folks, and the kind of data analysts who work for companies like Palantir. These are the quiet professionals, the people who can blend in perfectly, living what look like normal suburban lives, while maybe being involved in some highly sensitive work. And this brings us to our second key takeaway. The modern national security landscape is often just hidden in plain sight, making the whole area hum with activity without raising a single red flag. So, after looking at the PR strategy, the location, the Cold War history, and the people who live there now, we're left right back where we started, with this lingering, really captivating what if. And honestly, this quote from the source material just sums it up perfectly. There's no smoking gun, right? No declassified memo that says secret base here. And so the whole theory just stays in this delicious gray zone. It's just a nuke plant, doing nuke plant things, in a state that just so happens to be lousy with secrets. And that's really the thought I want to leave you with. This whole story started because someone looked at a familiar landmark from their childhood and just asked a simple question. It really makes you wonder, what ordinary buildings, quiet suburbs, or forgotten places are hiding in plain sight in your own hometown?